Stop everything you're doing right now. I'm about to tell you something that could completely change your love life in the next 5 seconds. Have you ever noticed how some guys seem to have an invisible magnet that attracts women? It's not luck. It's pure strategy. And today you're going to discover the 5 verbal master keys that unlock emotional doors most men don't even know exist. You know that awful feeling when you're talking to her and realize you're being invisible? When your words seem to evaporate into thin air? When she responds with polite monosyllables, but you feel like her mind is somewhere else? Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. The problem isn't you, it's the way you're communicating. The truth is, you're probably using the same generic words everyone else uses, calling her beautiful, gorgeous, princess. Words she's heard 1,000 times. Words that don't create any spark. No tension, no obsession. Do you want to know what really works? What makes her go home and keep thinking about you? What makes her check her phone, waiting for your message? I spent 10 years immersed in the psychology of attraction, studying exactly this, and I discovered something few men know how to apply. There are 5 forbidden nicknames that activate a primitive trigger in the female brain. These are words that create an almost instant obsession. But be careful. These nicknames are like emotional nitroglycerin. Use them wrong and you blow everything up. Use them right and you become unforgettable. Before I reveal these 5 ultra-rare nicknames, you need to understand one fundamental thing. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it, it's when you say it. It's the energy you transmit when you utter these words. Can you feel the difference? Imagine the scene. You're in a busy bar, loud music, people talking. She's standing in front of you with that slightly shy smile. You lean in slightly and whisper one of these nicknames in her ear. Suddenly her eyes change. Her smile becomes different. She gently bites her lower lip. You've just planted a seed of obsession. But let me warn you about one thing. If you think this is manipulation, you can stop here. This isn't about deceiving anyone. It's about creating deep emotional connections, using psychological triggers that have existed since the dawn of time. It's about being memorable instead of forgettable. Are you ready to discover these 5 nicknames? Remember one thing, with great power comes great responsibility. These nicknames are powerful tools, use them wisely. Number 1, call her trouble. That's right, trouble. Sounds crazy? Listen first before you judge. When you call a woman trouble with the right tone and perfect timing, you're subliminally telling her that she affects you, that she throws you off balance, that she's not just another girl. Here's how it works. You're talking about anything. She makes a provocative joke. You shake your head, smiling, and say softly, looking into her eyes, "You're trouble." You know that? The tension this creates is electric. She'll want to know why. She'll want to understand what it means. And most importantly, she'll love being seen as someone who has that power over you. Studies show that women are biologically programmed to be attracted to men who demonstrate controlled vulnerability. When you admit she's trouble, you're showing that she affects you but that you have control over it. It's an irresistible emotional paradox. Does that make sense to you? Here's a real mini story. A friend of mine met a girl at a party. They talked for an hour. At the end of the conversation, when she said she had to leave, he held her hand for 2 seconds and said, "You're trouble, and I don't know if I want to solve you yet." She left, but she messaged him before she even got home. Coincidence? There's no such thing as coincidence when you understand the right triggers. The takeaway here is simple. Controlled vulnerability. You show that she affects you, but maintain control. Can you visualize yourself using this? Number 2. Call her a little rascal. This nickname activates her playful and mischievous side. Every woman has an inner child that wants to play, tease, test limits. When you call her a little rascal, you're giving her permission to be that lighter, more fun version of herself. But pay attention, timing is everything. You only use this nickname when she does something provocative, when she teases you, when she tries to test you. It's a response, not an opening. Do you understand the difference? Psychologically speaking, this nickname creates a big brother, little sister dynamic, but with sexual tension. It's a unique emotional territory where you can play, tease each other, and create intimacy without pressure. Almost no one realizes the power of this dynamic. Let me tell you what happened with another guy I know. He was dating a very serious woman, a lawyer, always formal. One day she made a joke about his outfit. He responded, laughing, "Look at the little rascal coming out." She blushed, laughed, and for the first time in weeks, She completely relaxed. From that moment on, the dynamic between them changed entirely. The trick here is to create a safe emotional space for her to be playful. This is pure gold in relationships. Are you creating this space in your interactions? Number 3, call her weird. Calm down. It's not an insult. It's the opposite. When you call a woman weird in the right way, you're saying she's unique, that she doesn't fit the mold, that she's different from all the others. Women spend their whole lives trying to fit in, trying to be accepted, trying to be normal. When you validate her as weird, you're freeing her from that social prison. You're saying that with you she can be authentic. The secret is in the delivery. You say it with admiration, with curiosity, as if you've discovered something fascinating. Never as a critique, never as a judgment, always as a celebration of her individuality. I'll give you a practical example. She tells you she likes to collect rocks, or that she talks to plants, or that she has a strange ritual before bed. You smile and say, "You're a little weird, aren't you? But that's exactly what I find incredible about you." Done. You've just created a deep emotional connection. She knows she can be herself with you. Biologically, the human brain is programmed to seek group acceptance. When you accept and celebrate her weirdness, you activate a powerful belonging trigger. She'll want to stay close to whoever makes her feel accepted in her totality. Can you feel the power of this? The lesson here is validation of authenticity. You celebrate what makes her unique. This is addictive for anyone. Have you tried this approach? Number 4, call her a creature. This is the boldest of them all. Creature implies something mystical, something wild, something that cannot be tamed. When you call a woman a creature, you are acknowledging her primitive and instinctive side. This nickname works especially well in moments of passion. When she's being intense, when she's showing strong emotions, when she's being genuinely herself without filters. The psychology behind this is fascinating. Women are socially conditioned to always be controlled, always polite, always restrained. When you call her a creature, you're giving her permission to be wild, to be intense, to be passionate. I'll share a real situation. A guy was arguing with his girlfriend. She was furious, gesticulating, speaking loudly. He stopped, looked at her and said calmly, "Look at this magnificent creature when she's angry." She stopped mid-sentence, started laughing. The argument ended there. They ended up kissing. The power of this nickname is in transforming moments of tension into moments of connection. You validate her emotions instead of trying to control them. This is extremely rare among men. Few apply this strategy because they are afraid of feminine intensity. The key concept here is total emotional acceptance. You embrace all sides of her. This creates a deep obsession. Does that make sense now? Number 5, call her a dangerous girl. This nickname activates the femme fatale archetype that exists in every woman. You are acknowledging her power, the danger she represents, her ability to emotionally destroy you if she wants to. But here's the trick. You say it without fear, with admiration, as if the danger is part of what attracts you. You're not running away. You're consciously moving towards the danger. Neurologically, when a woman feels powerful and dangerous near a man, her brain releases a cocktail of hormones that include dopamine and testosterone. This creates a sense of power and desire simultaneously. It's addictive. Let me tell you how this works in practice. You're talking to her. She tells a story about how she got revenge on an ex, or how she manipulated a situation to her advantage. You smile and say, "You're a dangerous girl. I should keep my distance, but I can't." Done. You've planted the seed. She'll love being seen as dangerous. She'll love that you recognize that power. And most importantly, she'll love that you still choose to stay. This creates a dynamic of constant tension that fuels attraction. The wisdom here is recognizing feminine power. You don't try to diminish or control it. You admire it and approach anyway. How many men do you know who do that? Now that you know the 5 forbidden nicknames, let me teach you the framework that will make all of this work. I call it the sexy trigger. S for surprise. You always surprise with the timing of the nickname. E for exclusivity. The nickname creates a secret code between you. X for X factor. You spark curiosity and intrigue. Y for your vibe, your vibration, your energy when delivering the nickname. Remember, these nicknames are just tools. What really matters is the energy behind them. The confidence, the authenticity, the genuine intention to create connection. You must be thinking now, but won't this make me seem weird? Manipulative? Let me answer with a question. What's more manipulative? Using generic words that mean nothing or using powerful words that create real connection? These nicknames are not cheap tricks. They are forms of deep emotional communication. When you call her trouble, you're admitting vulnerability. When you call her a little rascal, you're creating a space for playfulness. When you call her weird, you're validating her authenticity. When you call her a creature, you're accepting her intensity. When you call her a dangerous girl, you're recognizing her power. Is this manipulation? No, it's advanced emotional communication. It's speaking the language her primitive brain understands. It's creating memorable emotional experiences instead of forgettable conversations. But I warn you, with great power comes great responsibility. These nicknames will create strong reactions. They will generate intense emotions. They will make her think about you when you're not around. Are you prepared to handle that? Many men are afraid to create this kind of intensity. They prefer to stay in the safe zone of superficial conversations, of obvious pickup lines, of generic compliments, and then they complain that they are invisible, that they are just friends, that they can't create attraction. The truth is, attraction is not logical, it's emotional, and emotions are created through experiences. When you use these nicknames in the right way, you are creating unique emotional experiences. You are engraving your name in her subconscious. Think with me. How many men has she met who called her beautiful? Dozens? Hundreds? Now, how many called her a magnificent creature, a dangerous girl, delicious trouble? Probably none. Do you understand the power of differentiation? But here's the final secret that almost no one realizes. The true power is not in the nicknames themselves, it's in the courage to use them. When you have the confidence to call a woman something unexpected, you are demonstrating a level of self-assurance that is extremely attractive. You're showing that you're not afraid to take risks, that you don't need her approval to be yourself, that you have your own personality. This is what truly creates attraction. The nicknames are just the vehicle. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather be just another face in the crowd or be the guy she can't forget? Would you rather have conversations she forgets in 5 minutes or create moments she'll remember for years? The choice is yours. But if you decide to use these nicknames, do it right. Practice the delivery. Observe the reactions. Adjust as needed. Every woman is unique. What works with one might not work with another. And never ever use all 5 nicknames with the same woman on the same day. That's emotional overdose. Choose 1 or 2 that match her personality and the moment. Quality over quantity, always. You also need to be prepared for the reactions. Some women will be confused at first, others will laugh, others will be intrigued. All will remember. And that's what matters. Being memorable. Now you have 2 options. Continue doing what you've always done and keep getting the same results. Or try something new and possibly completely transform your interactions. What will you choose? Remember the master keys I gave you today. They open emotional doors that most men don't even know exist. But like any master key, they need to be used responsibly. If you've made it this far, you're different. You're not the average guy who gives up in the first paragraph. You want more. You want to be better. You want to create real connections. And now you have the tools. But tools without action are useless. You need to move from theory to practice. You need to test, make mistakes, adjust, learn. That's the only path to mastery. Do this now before you forget. Like this video if it helped you. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more tips. And most importantly, go out there and use what you've learned. Because in the end, you can have all the master keys in the world. But if you don't use them to open doors, they're just pieces of metal. The question is, will you stay outside looking at the closed door, or will you use the key and go in? The game has changed. The rules are different. And now you know the secret codes. You hold something ultra-rare that few men master. The question is, what will you do with this power? Pay attention to one last thing. A week from now, you could be living the same old life, having the same boring conversations, being forgotten as always. Or you could be the guy she can't get out of her head, the guy who created an obsession, the guy who used the master keys. The choice has always been yours, but now you have no more excuses. You know what works. You know the triggers. You have the treasure map. All that's left is to have the courage to follow the path. And if you're still scared, let me tell you one final secret. Fear is normal. Everyone feels it. The difference between ordinary men and extraordinary men is not the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. So take a deep breath, choose your first nickname, find the right moment, and change the game. Because you deserve to be unforgettable. You deserve to create deep connections. You deserve to activate obsession. The master keys are in your hands. The doors are waiting. The only question left is, will you use the keys or will you keep knocking on the door like everyone else does?